Good morning, Messy Homestead. I cannot seem to take a decent picture of this park, and so I'm just going to walk you around it, and you can watch or not watch as you like. This is a good time to turn it off if you don't like seeing pretty stuff. It is Sunday morning in Perpignan, France, and this is just a local park. This is just how it is. There's some statuary happening here and some pretty purple flowers and some yellow purple flowers in the distance, which we will see in a little bit. The sounds you hear in the background, if they are things you hear, is there is street cleaning apparently on Sunday morning. Thank God I don't live on this street. But this is the main downtown boulevard area. And so I guess they're cleaning things up, which is interesting because often when I come out on a Sunday morning, I end up picking up trash from probably the Saturday night situations. And so it's interesting to see that there is cleaning that goes on before I get out here. This is earlier than I usually come out. So here is an old telephone booth that is now a library. I will show you the books because I know some people are good book nerds. So let's see what books we have. So today we have, look at that, books that are not like completely, entirely religious. In the United States, we would have lots of, Gideon Bibles and such in there. Happily, I can report other things in France. So, I'm going to try to hold this properly so you can see there are a lot of things in bloom and a lot of things about to come into bloom and a lot of things just getting done, which means that this is a well-designed garden. There's lots of ivy and ground cover. There's quite a bit of what we think of as English ivy in the United States, which I always pay attention to see if it grows because I use it for laundry detergent. So I always like to know if it grows in a place, and I wasn't sure if it would here since this is a warmer place, but it does. Yay! There's a bunch of it everywhere, as you can see. So then over here we have what looks like a willow. Right in the middle of the picture there, either a willow or maybe an olive tree. And I know there's going to be a big old olive tree that we're going to see soon. When we go to Béziers. So here we go. Now this big building you see behind me, it is not the pretty part, but this is Palais de Congrès. And I think this is like a little convention center. I think when I see pictures of people doing stuff on the weekend indoors in a big way, I think this is where they do that. But Palais de Congrès sounds to me like a government building, and so I didn't put that together until last week. Anyway, here is another sculpture because, it's a park. We're not animals. We have to have sculptures. This is General Leclerc, and this is a war memorial here. It's kind of mosaic-y. I have not done all the history checking yet, so I can't tell you about it in a good, solid, educated way just yet. But oh, here's another part. Actually, I hadn't seen this part before. This is a brand new discovery for me right now. Breaking news. It's been very, very hot in Perpignan the last few days, especially for a person who's used to air conditioners. So, oh, this is nice. Okay, so this is a nice memorial from First World War with all the people listed. That is very nice. Okay, and then beautiful art made with it, of course, because France. So here's this for people who would like to learn more about the history. It is a beautiful, I guess this is maybe bronze statuary. It doesn't say what it is made out of, but that's okay. It's nice that it is here. So then we have this humongous area here, and it's the big mosaic-y. I'll take you outside at first, and then we'll come back in. And just for ambiance, this is what things look like here. More or less everywhere. So, unless you go outside of town, and then it just looks like a dirty suburb, just like most places. You see, this is the farm. This is how the pharmacies look right here, where those cars are. If you see the green cross, that does not mean it is a cannabis dispensary for all you West Coasters. It means that it's a pharmacy, just a plain old pharmacy. I will say that I have smelled some use around here, and apparently it's not really enforced, but it's against the law, but not really enforced. And I will say this is the only place that I've ever been where the smell of weed did not bother me, and the smell of tobacco products did not bother me. So whatever they're doing over here, I guess they're doing it right. Yeah, you can't get too up close to these because they're just so big, then you couldn't see them. But this is a smaller one, so I'll show you it. Okay, so there's that lady. There we go. Okay, and this is kind of the other side of beginning. Yesterday in this square there were some kids playing ball, so that was fun. And here we're getting into the big cactus area of the park, which I particularly like. And there's a gentleman doing his exercises. It's about 9:30 in the morning right now. I actually have a jacket on, but that was unanticipated because it's been so fucking hot. Okay, so this is the part of the park that is, let's see, what would this be? It is on the western side, but it is just particularly sunny. Is it? I'm not totally sure why they have the cactus garden here in particular, because this is the western side of the park, but it's also the north side of the park. But they may have just had a spot. I'm sure they were working around all these old trees. So this was just an open spot, or perhaps they cleared more space than they needed for the Palais de Congrès, and so then they had space, or they had, dug up and probably ruined the ground a little bit. So cactus it is, but it's a beautiful, beautiful cactus garden. Ooh, but before I show you that, let's look at this super, super gnarly tree. It's very exciting. Very exciting. I mean, this is amazing. And this is in memoriam of this. And it looks like this tree had sort of a lost life and then has started up again. And you can't see real well from the video, but you might be able to see if I go in there. These are going to make flowers, and looks like this might be an olive tree. These might be teeny tiny, tiny baby olives. I think that's right. Okay, but I promised you a cactus garden, and a cactus garden you will have. Here we go. So I do love a cactus, because we do love the desert. And here are some nice happy flowers on the way. Incidentally, the ground cover here is a mixture of dandelions and romaine lettuce, what we would call romaine lettuce in America. I don't know what they call that plant here. And some other forageables, what appears to be mullein, a type of mullein here. I will say the dandelions here do look different than I'm used to, but I've lived a few places in America where they do look different from place to place. So so they are different, This is one of them here. These over here look a little bit more similar to American dandelion, but since the flowers frequently do not look similar here. Like here, for instance, we wouldn't have these little multiple shoots, but you can see from the green parts, from the aerial leaf parts, that they are indeed dandelion leaves. So that's how we know. Okay, so now I've never seen a plant like this before. This is pretty interesting, very interesting. And you can see it's a mixture. It looks like a palm situation and sort of a spiky situation, and the ivy. And I kind of wonder if this is just a normal old palm tree that the ivy got to first, and because the ivy's on it, these leaves, as the trunk grows, are not shedding the way that they would otherwise. They're staying greener and shadier, which is really fascinating. And then we have this lovely creature here. Let me see. Okay, I'm about here. So this is a pretty solid 12-foot high cactus right here. Oh, and I didn't see the extra bit. So yeah, very solid 12. And you can see we have quite a good sized nopal over here, a prickly pear cactus. I don't know the names of all the cactus, but I do enjoy them. Okay, so this one, you can see these two are tied together to keep them all good, because this nopal is very old. This leaf here is definitely the size of my head. I will show you if I can. So you can see head, leaf, head, leaf. There you have it. So, and it is clearly as tall as I am. And then we have this one over here also, which is a little less picturesque, but very healthy. You see how healthy it is on the top here. See, it's nice and squishy. Ooh, yeah, these new growths are in very good shape on the older grandparent growths. See how that works? It's great. Okay, so here I am, and this is gonna be, that's a solid 9 feet, if not a bit more. Okay, and then we have, well, we saw this one from the other side. You remember? It's a palm tree behind it. It's not a new head on it. And then there's this one over here that is also very tall, although thinner. Okay. This is also an excellent place to go for a grounding walk if you have your earthing shoes on. I do not on this particular day, but that's because I'm going to go sit in the park and take these shoes off for several hours. So, but here's this other humongo, and if it were standing up straight, I would say it would be taller than this little critter over here. Also, what grows really well here is maguey. We had a really humongous maguey the other day that we saw. This one, I don't know what kind of cactus this is, because I don't think this is not a maguey, this is a succulent. It's a humongous aloe or something, but I've never seen an aloe with spikes on the leaves. You know, like I see, you know, the spikes on the side of the leaf maybe, but not on the flat part. So that's interesting. Okay. And then, so you can see the sun is already just lovely. It'd be wonderful if we had just a little bit of air conditioner inside. Just a little bit. We didn't have any breeze last night, so although the weather's very pleasant right now, there was no breeze to pull it in, so it's kind of a rough night, which is why I'm up and around at 9:30. I've been up a while. Okay, so then we have this. This is actually also a nopal. I know one friend in particular is going to want to see this one. She loves her nopal. Okay, so I'm trying to get it without the sun for you. Let me see if I can scoot over. Okay, here we go. You're not even going to be able to see the whole thing because it's so big. But isn't that just beautiful? It's just beautiful, my goodness. So that is, again, that's a very solid 10 to 13 feet. And then this here, this is fascinating. I've never seen this particular plant. Okay, this, I'm gonna say, this is more like a maguey. This is not succulent inside, and I can feel there are fibers happening. And this, just to give you a sense of scale here, this is my hand, which is about, I don't know, 3.5 inches. And so this is a pretty, I mean, I don't know, I guess I'm 4 inches. Yeah, because this is really a solid 1 foot across just for that leaf. So you can kind of do the estimating. And these are some lovely sedges here, you see. And here's more statuary because France. Let's see, and I'll just make sure that my friend has not arrived yet. I'm not exactly looking for her because I think she's having a rest, but I should be looking for her because I did tell her I would be here. Okay, so here we go. And then there's some more nopal, but that one looks angrier. Whatever kind that is the kind with more spikes on it. This one down here I'm really interested in because it looks not scary and angry. Okay, yeah, this one looks okay. This is just a friendly succulent. Oh, a little succulent. I'm not going to pick a leaf, although I'm very tempted to because it seems like something my body wants to try. But I'm not going to because this is the first few days I haven't had anaphylactic attacks about things. So I'm finally getting my body sorted out and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so here's some more of those plants. Look how beautiful those are. So these may be just a type of aloe, you know, that these are different types of aloe, I think. Aren't these beautiful? And then these sedges with it are just absolutely gorgeous. And you can actually tell that they're gorgeous in a photo, which a lot of these are so beautiful, but I really can't show you them in a photo properly because they just don't translate. Once they're flat, you just can't see how beautiful they are. Okay, so this is a monster maguey. So if I keep saying maguey and you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've ever had tequila, it's made out of this. I'm going to see if I can turn this around so you can get a sense of the scale here. So this is how big the maguey is relative to me. I'm about 5.5 feet tall, and this is bigger. It is bigger. Solidly 9 feet up there. It goes up and up and up. Okay, so then we have this one, which is a fascinating, gnarly little piece of work. You wouldn't want to get bumped into that, but I don't know what kind it is, I'm sorry to say. And then we have another nopal. This one is so big that I can't even get back enough to take to photograph it properly for you. Okay, so that is very, very much 12 feet across. Very much. Those flowers are really beautiful up there that it has. They're very much like poppies. There are some wild poppies growing that I'll show you later, which is really fun because I've never seen real poppies until I came here, but here they grow wild because, you know, why wouldn't you? These are interesting. So it looks like some of these are dying, but you can tell maybe why, because they're in the shady part. They're not in the sunny part. So it wasn't that fun. It was my first full walkthrough in the desert lands here. Oh, and this is always beautiful to see from the other side. So these are the tuna fruits that they're all getting ready to flower now. You can see some of them are already budding. Look at how pretty that is. I've never seen them right at the changeover. This is really beautiful. Okay, then we have all different kinds of nopal. So we have this one. I'm kind of used to this one. Then we have this one. I'm sort of used to this one. This one I am not used to. I've never seen this before. It looks like it is very serious. And then this one over here looks like, you know, a cantankerous Dennis the Menace type. And then this is more the kind I'm used to again. I mean, except like a zillion times more beautiful. Okay. So that is most of the desert garden. Although there is this piece here. Actually, I missed this. This is exciting here. This piece here, if you can see this piece that stretches all the way up all the way up. That is a solid 12 or 13 feet high. So that is very intriguing. Okay, and now we're gonna go through this very woodsy, bamboo-y little spot. Ooh, I've never been over here. I like it here. Oh my goodness, it's so fun to sit over here. I might come and just sit in that spot. Ooh, it's very snuggly over here. If you needed a snuggle, this would be a good place to snuggle. I'm just saying. Okay, so then we have some more of these sedges. You can see these grasses. And what you see over just beyond that, I'll take you over there for a moment. See how pretty that sedge is? It's multicoloring. These are the fountains. They've had the fountains off and the little stream off for a couple of years because there is some water shortage. And compared to the desert places where I have lived, where they don't turn anything off, but then they complain about the water shortage, this place actually did something about it. So there you go. What a novel idea. But then about a week ago, we had a festival of the water. And my understanding is that they turn the water on for about 30 minutes and they have humongous fountains here, and it was very fun. But it was at night, and at night I am about done. So my big outings are other people's small outings, and that is okay. Okay, so this is more area, and here is more statuary, which I will show you forthwith. We have some graffiti here that's interesting to look at and wonder about. Let's see. Anything here, something I shouldn't be showing? No, probably not. Actually, I won't show it to you because it is gang activity, I suppose. So it would be good to not encourage that. I do encourage graffiti, just not, enslaving young people to make art for you so that you have them on the hook. Okay, so then over this way, in the distance there, you can see about 100 yards up, there's a really nice like juniper making tree, I think that is. So that's fun. And then over here, we have more purple making trees and good trees for sitting, which we will be choosing one of shortly. And oh yeah, I was going to show you, we're going to walk on this part of the grass because this is these are all nice forageables. I've eaten off of this grass, thankfully right before they mowed it. They mow it pretty ratty, honestly, but I sort of appreciate that because this is an eco-garden here. There are different sections of the garden, and so I like that they did not mow it very properly. And you can see they use up the wood chips, which are pretty nice to walk on in shoes like mine, at least. Okay, but I did want to show you these. I think they're pretty neat. They're not the most glamorous things in the garden, but I think they're awesome. So these are they. I very much enjoy these. I think we have these in America, but where I have lived, they do not make flowers, and here they make flowers. So it's just like I remind people in gardening groups where they're like, is this an annual or is this a perennial? Well, everything is an annual if you grow it in the wrong place, and everything is a perennial if you grow it in the right place. So, you just have to decide which one you want. But these actually show up really, really nice on the video right now, so that's exciting, because not everything does. Okay, here we go. So there's more of the stream. You can imagine how pretty that stream would be, but you can also imagine how nice it is to have a responsible local government that makes parks like this and then doesn't drain the water table just for the hell of it. This park is actually part of 6 parks. This is the Eco-Jardin part of it, and so this is kind of the most wild growing, I guess you'd say. And then there is a kids park down the way, but this is all a big crescent strip of green space that, you know, clearly they've left all of the large trees intact. And then we have all of this newer growth that they have made work really nicely. So, and here is another lovely fountain area and statue, because France. And there are some fig trees in here too, which I forgot to show you. There's so many fig trees here, it's hard to remember that they're special, but they are. It's also fun, there's a canal down the way that is full of mulberry trees that are fruiting right now. And it's funny because even very elderly people are completely unabashed about ripping down the limbs and getting their fresh mulberries in very awkward ways. And I love it because France is full of non-awkward things, and it's just lovely to see somebody being awkward about something and people just enjoying, you know, free fruit. I'm trying to give you a sense of this tree because it's big, and these trees are quite large, really. I don't know if you can see it or not because I've turned this around, but I don't know if you can see it. So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 7 feet across at the root structure, and in general up here, good 4 feet across. So pretty sizable. You know, this is just a plain old city tree. So there you go. Let me get my Monsieur Bricolage bag here. And you can see there's roses throughout. The roses are pretty happy here. They have a nice time. And then now I'm going to go sit. I think, in fact, maybe I'll sit here today. And wait for my friend. So, I hope that you enjoyed your tour, and I hope this was helpful. There's one other big flower that's about to be blooming, but it's not quite yet, but it's way over there. And there's not enough that I haven't shown you from here to there to make it probably worth your while. So I will leave it there. But I hope this was helpful in getting to know Perpignan.